Good evening, Hotfix Nation, and welcome back to Hidden Heroes. This is the Hotfix show where we aim to showcase speedrunners who are a part of underrepresented or otherwise marginalized communities and the games that they're passionate about and that they want to show off. I am your host, Anarchy, and I'm going to be really for real. I was thinking about Sonic and Shadow today. They might be boyfriends, they might not be, who knows, but just know that I wanted to see some Sonic and some Shadow on my show. So up first, we're going to be having Meltra, who will be showing off Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Dark Story New Game, and then after that, we're going to be going backwards a little bit. We're going to have Hex Speedruns with Sonic Adventure DX, who's going to be bringing us all stories. We're really in for a treat today. I'm very excited. So the short bit for today's show is, in fact, not Sonic and Shadow. It's actually Sonic and Garfield. They look really swag, and I love this shirt. Rest in peace, Pomono World. He was the go for real. But before we go mode, I just want to do a quick shout out for our Hotfix enjoyers. If you too are a Hotfix enjoyer, make sure you join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role. There you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord and Twitch chat for more information. But without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Meltra and Company for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Good luck and have fun.
Thank you very much, Anarchy, and my name is Meltra. Been speedrunning Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for a very, very long time, around 8 years, and today I'll be bringing you Dark Story. I'd like to introduce my commentators, Devu and Seahawks, after you.
Hello. I guess I'll go first. I'm Seahawks. I've been speedrunning the game for 4 years. I primarily run Hero Story.
And I'm Devu. I primarily run Dark Story. I only pretty much played Dark Story. I've been also running for 4 years. Me and Seahawks started around the same time.
Very, very good, guys. So glad to have you on the mic, and we'll be getting started in a couple seconds here as I'll give a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We're going to start off with a pretty well-known stage in the Dark Story side, Iron Gate, because it is a cycle. Well, in a way, it's kind of cycle-based, and more of like a waiting stage because you have the elevators. One thing about like mech is that casually when you turn, it sucks because like if you do sharp turns, you lose all your speed. But if you do gradual turns, you'll still preserve the speed that you're running when going in a straight line. And
that sounds really good, Seahawks. So for mech stages in general, tell us what we can expect gameplay-wise.
You can expect Eggman shooting a bunch of robots. And just a bunch of other things to, like, in order to progress throughout the stage, as eventually Eggman ends his stage with a gold ring. And as you notice, on the bottom there's a blue health bar that signifies Eggman's health, and if you don't have any health, Eggman dies.
Very well put. So I'm going for a ring route over here where if I get around 80 to 89 rings, I'm going to get a bit of a speed boost once I get past the checkpoint. So I'm just going to be grabbing some additional rings here just to make sure that happens. And I will get an extra life when I cross the checkpoint too, which is nice.
All right. I don't remember what time you hit the elevator. Okay, so probably... All right, and we got the speed shoes, which means Eggman will move significantly faster than his normal running speed for a few seconds.
And that goes a long way in these hallways where you can actually skip some doors and skip some of the cycles where they want you to wait, but we don't want to wait because we're trying to speedrun here.
Mm-hmm.
Ending the stage in around 2 minutes, pretty good time here.
Pretty good time, let's go.
Next, we have these bosses coming up. This next spot's very easy. His name is Hotshot, but I don't know who named him that because he's not a hotshot. You just press the A and sort of just bully him to death. So yeah, check this one out. Anybody can do this at home.
Yeah, so you'll notice that we are not Dr. Eggman anymore. We're actually Shadow. Cool thing about this game is you place 3 different characters. So it'll be Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. And before you know it, we're going to be done playing Shadow, because Meltra's the GOAT.
super easy boss, but now we're getting into treasure hunting. And I mean, Diva, let us know what we can expect in these treasure hunting levels.
Yeah, so the treasure hunting stages in Sonic Adventure 2 randomly put 3 pieces of the Master Emerald across
Ooh,
the
nice.
stage. So right now, Meltra got some good RNG with her first piece. So the game will try to put these pieces pretty far apart. Wow, Meltra's got some really good RNG. This is a great set. This like can't be bad. But so she will now grab her second piece, doing an awesome little wall run there. And then her piece 3 is moving between the big and small pillars, which is also just a really, really good set. So,
PP pace, no way.
exactly.
Let's go.
So as you can see, when you get good RNG in these hunting stages, they go by in a flash. And we're going to get back to Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, Seahawks, tell us a little bit more about this stage in particular. You know, it's kind of precarious, all these like instant death pits and whatnot in the cycles.
Yeah, so Sand Ocean is this very, very volatile stage because falling in the sand means that you die instantly. And it makes
Just
Dark
like that?
Story resets literally hell.
Yeah, pretty much. So that jump in particular that I just took a death to is a 3-frame jump that's pretty easy to die on. So first death of the run, but you know, it's like maybe a couple seconds, if even less of time lost. So not too worked up about it. You know, I got these pillars we're going to destroy here.
And because this stage is cycle based, catching the fastest cycle is a pretty tough task, especially in a run. But I think the nice part about this stage is that it is in the early game. So like once you get past the stage, you don't really have to worry about as much. This is, in my opinion, one of the 3-headed dragons of Dark Story resets. We went through Dry Lagoon earlier, which is known for being a notorious stage for heavy resetting because the RNG is not very lenient there. And then we got Sand Ocean, which has like an endless like death pit all over the stage.
Decided to get an extra life there just for safety, but let's hope this next section goes pretty well. Already not going super great.
Let's go. You caught the cycle. And
So-
Meltra is going to go for a very hard jump called Meltra Jump.
Oh, no,
I
she's
guess she's
not
not
going
mine.
for the Meltra jump.
No.
I didn't feel good about it, but
Okay,
there's a
that
jump
is
named after me
completely
for some reason. But
If you miss
one
that
other
jump,
thing,
it's like
Yeah.
20 seconds lost. Like it loses so much time, but it saves
big
like a good
time.
amount of time in return. So
I'm just gonna take it a little safe here, and I got an extra life just for safety for the next coming stages, for example. But as we end off this next stage, we actually get into our first speed stage. You know, we're talking about Sonic and Shadow being boyfriends and whatever, but now we're actually going to see Shadow in his own stage, like 5 minutes into the run, which is pretty interesting that we haven't, you know, had his full stage. But I think Diva wants to tell us a lot about this stage.
Yes, this is my favorite stage. I call it the best stage. This stage is awesome. It has tons of different routes you can take. You start off grinding from the cinematic angles. You do all these quick homing attacks and these spin dashes. Meltra's going to do a cool loop skip here. Just get right through there, blasting through the stage as fast as possible. She's going to do these spin dash chains, which like by pressing B at specific times, and she gets the mock bounce. So that's a pretty cool trick in Radical Highway, where you position Shadow against this corner and Shadow will convert his horizontal speed to vertical speed. You can see she's already performing another skip while I'm talking about the last skip. That's the stage. It just has so much happening. She's going to do Red Honda here, which is a backwards moonwalk, which projects your hitbox backwards and lets you hit springs inside of boxes. And she has 2 of them to do. And we finally get a break. Falling down here.
Not for long though.
Until we do another loop jump here. Oh no, bad cam. Can she save it?
oh no.
Usually I'm pretty good at that, which is why I went for it blind, but hey, doesn't lose that much time in the grand scheme of things, so I'm just like, all right. Would have been cool if I did get it though, but we got this rail over here, which skips a lot of the level.
Yeah, so as a casual player, you probably didn't know that you could just take these rails across this section So it's probably pretty cool to see. And if you've ever played Sonic Adventure 2, you should go back and do it because it's super fun and very satisfying.
Yeah, I didn't know of that as a kid, but tell me a little bit about this next skit that's coming up here, Devo.
So Melcher is going to attempt a gap jump here. This is a pretty hard trick.
All right.
Ooh, no.
I hate when that happens. Wow.
And then even just so we have a really, really small ledge that we have to land on. And then once you land on that ledge, you're going to do a spin dash hover across this gap, which is why it's called gap jump. But because the camera is all funky, you have to hold very specific angles to skip the gap. So we'll see if she goes for it again. She's going to go for it again. And she spin dash hovers. She holds her angles. She homing attacks, and she gets it.
Let's go.
She's
Very
so
hard trick,
awesome.
by the way.
Yeah, very, very hard trick. And Melcher's going to exit probably one of the hardest stages in the run right now. So let's go, Melcher.
And this is also part 3 of the three-headed dragon, by the way, for Dark Story early game resets.
Yeah, big time. Just Dry Lagoon, Sand Ocean, and this level, Radical Highway, super tough. No doubt about it. One of the hardest levels, airs in the run. Going into very much a lull. Not a lull. It's very exciting. We love headquarters because it's so consistent for me. But tell us a little bit about Death Strats, what we'll be expecting moving forward.
All right, so we're entering another treasure hunting stage as part of Dark Story's early game, which thankfully this is in my opinion, the most lenient RNG stage in the run, as there's 4 of them. We already went through Dry Lagoon. Oh, nice, we spotted a free piece up top. You were able to see a little bit of white as you jump up the platform. But right now we're going to be picking up the upgrade called the Dig Nails, or the Pick Nails is what I believe it's called.
Yeah, Pick Nails.
So what this does is that it will allow us to grab certain pieces, or treasure hunting pieces, that are in the ground, and you could only grab those pieces with the dig upgrade. And it's worth noting that the devs intended if you enter the stage without a dig upgrade, they force the last piece to be a dig piece. That way the player doesn't forget to grab the upgrade, which is a pretty smart game design.
And just to build on that, Seahawks, what we're going to notice moving forward in a lot of these stages is we're going to skip a lot of upgrades because, maybe as a kid when you played this game, you're like, oh, I remember all these upgrades that I used to get. But what you're going to realize is that we don't need we don't need a lot of them.
Yeah.
We need to upgrade in this level, but go ahead, Devo.
Yeah, I was going to say, so the 2 upgrades you pretty much need are the 2 we're about to grab. So the Pick Nails and the Jet Booster are the only upgrades needed for Dark Story. So Shadow doesn't need to get any of them. Eggman just needs the Jet Booster.
And tell us a little bit more about Lost Colony, what we can expect in this good old stage.
So this stage might look very boring, but it's actually not. Melcher's doing very specific timed jumps so that she can get through doors with fast momentum. She's going to do one right now. And she's going to be doing quick little jumps and quick little turns so that she can maintain her speed. And then here's the Jet Booster, what we talked about just now. So now Melcher will be able to hover. And then what we're about to see here should be a pause hover, perhaps. Nope, not yet. Maybe we'll get a pause hover later on. But a pause hover is a pretty cool exploit in this game where if you pause in the middle of a hover, you can get extra height that the devs did not intend you to have. So you'll be able to clear further gaps than normal. And you'll see a couple here in this stage, but the next stage specifically will be a lot of pause hovering because that stage is a big gap. And we're about to get to the very exciting part of the run, the elevator, where you don't have to do anything at all.
It's also worth mentioning that Meltra specifically picked up around 80 to 89 rings before the check that she just grabbed to get the speed shoes.
Yeah, in a lot of these mech stages, you'll see Meltra deliberately grabbing rings as she goes through. They lose no time to grab them, but it gains significant time whenever you get the speed shoes. And this stage is about a second and a half.
In 100 rings, you get like an extra life, so that makes... And Dark Story is kind of known for chewing through lives.
Exactly, so For example, the next speed choose, getting 80 to 89 rings in the next stage won't save me that much time, so I'm going to be opting for getting extra life instead, just for as much safety as I possibly can get. I think I almost dropped off of that platform somehow, crashing out. Oh my god, that's crazy. We made it. Made it to the bell ring. Let's go.
Especially
Pretty
for a
hard stage
marathon
optimize.
run.
Yeah, I don't know what had just happened there, but we made it.
We made it.
And now a weapons bed isn't, if you liked Eggman, guess what? You get more Eggman, right?
Yep. And
I think it's like, is it Easter coming up? We get eggs during Easter, so,
almost. I think it's next
Right.
month, right?
something like that. So
Yeah.
we're going to see a lot of pods humbering. We're going to see a cool trick that I have up here called slope bop. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, not today, unfortunately. This is one of the skips where it's like, it's kind of sketchy to me sometimes, but it's pretty consistent. It's like a slope jump almost.
And if you remember the pause hover mechanic we talked about, this is another stage we're going to abuse it in, but also the last stage we're going to abuse pause hovering. And in order to perform the pause hover, we have we press A, pause, and then pause A. And what we're trying to do within that moment is we're trying to line up like 2 A pushes, like within as close to each other as possible. So the pause acts like an interrupt in between in order to get to maximize as much height possible.
Yeah, I almost got vertex there, which is where Eggman sort of gets caught on some of the geometry on a slope, but I saved myself. That just saved myself a lot of time, which I'm happy about.
Mm-hmm. This is also a pretty difficult pause hover.
Yep.
And you'll notice because of the pause hover mechanic, Melcher was able to skip grabbing the large cannon, which you would normally use to shoot down these metal containers to progress through the stage. But she's just going to fly across it like it's nothing.
Oh, we're doing
Yep, and that was
jump.
just satellite jump, which is maybe supposedly one of the hardest or most precise pause hovers, and able to get through that just fine. Able to get through weapons bed, which is really good. And now we get into a next boss called Tails 1.
I heard that you liked Eggman and that you were ready for Easter. Well, you are ready for some more Eggman because we're about to play Eggman again. And
Let's
Tails.
go. This is like one of the anime battles of all time.
Yeah, I accidentally punched him, which is interesting. That's never happened before.
It's also, one thing about this
thing.
boss is that you don't want to punch because a punch does significantly less damage than regularly firing a homing missile at Tails.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but here we go. We're in security hall. Tell us a little bit about the safes we can think about, Devo.
So, this stage, you might remember it as one of the hardest stages you play in Sonic Adventure 2 because of the 5-minute time limit. but as speedrunners, this 5-minute time limit doesn't mean anything to us. We'll get through it just fine in 5 minutes. This stage has 3 different safes, and before the run, you're actually able to set which safe you want it to be because of a global variable in the code. So Melcher set it to yellow safes, and she just got a blue safe piece. So she's going to die here so that she can re-roll her piece, because going up to the top to reset the safe is very slow. So it's faster to just take a death. She's going to see what's hidden up there. She got it. And then she's going to see where all the money's at. Pretty
nice.
good
Pretty good
combo
set.
here.
Or it would be. I can grab the piece, which I did.
All right.
Let's
So
go.
not too bad. I mean, if actually executed would have been nice, but that's why we do death strats. It just re-roll the dice, if you will. And next we have another Rouge boss, one of the only Rouge bosses. One of the only Rouge bosses. Tell me a bit more about it, Seahawks.
So we got Hot Shot's sibling here. Now they just fly exclusively. We're gonna pull off a really difficult strat. Known as, we got it. It's called Up Dog. It's a pretty difficult strat. It just gives us an early hit and also sets up the manip for the boss so that Flying Dog always lines up with this corner.
Yeah, and then Melcher's going to do these specific hits here in the corner to keep Flying Dog in the corner so that she can do the fastest fight as fast as possible, which she did.
Solid fight, solid fight. Like
And
that a lot.
specifically, you have to hit like the farthest left or the right on the pilot's cockpit.
And then tell us more about White Jungle and why it's so bad and terrible and I hate it. I mean, tell me more about White Jungle.
This is my favorite Dark Story stage.
Yeah. So White Jungle, you'll notice that we've played a lot of this game and we haven't been Shadow very much. We're finally Shadow again, about halfway through the run.
Shadow got shorthanded in this game.
I don't know. Maybe Eggman is Shadow's boyfriend all along, but tell us about some of these skips that we're about to see, like the skips and whatnot here.
Yeah, so you'll see that Meltra's just like flying through these parts where you have to somersault under normally. This is called, we're using a mechanic in this game called storage. She's not even going to do that one. She's going to jump all the way around this tree, dungeon skip. And then she's not going to do the loop skip here because she got carried by the loop speed. This game has a mechanic in it called loop speed, which I'm not going to talk about because that skip was so cool and I just had to pull it out. But she's going to try to do another skip here called spring skip. There's a spring here at the end of this vine, which she skips beautifully, saves about 3 seconds, and then she's going to just skip this light dash trail because why would you have to? Oh, and then she's going to do
we're going to do wine skip. Ooh, very difficult skip, by the way. Very volatile. Oh, we get it. Let's go.
Perfect height.
Let's
there
go.
There we go.
Very unexpected, too. It saves 2 seconds. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest strats in all of Dark Story, and Meltra pulled it off.
Here we
go.
Let's go, Meltra.
This level can eat it. That's why I did wine skip to prove this level wrong.
Let's go.
And now
we're gonna see a fake hedgehog and a hedgehog that is not real here.
I forgot about this boss fight.
Yeah, the boyfriends are together now.
You know, I realized why we call them boyfriends, and that's because
I think there's a lot of tension in the air. You know, like you think they're going through like a breakup or something, or just going through it.
Most likely.
First couple argument is what I want to say, but tell me a bit about storage and what's going to happen to this poor hedgehog next.
So storage is basically the concept of you're buffering your spin dash and your somersault because they're both mapped to the same button and to the same action. So there's a delay in between where like Shadow or Sonic, when you hold the B button, they're not gonna spin dash. And we're able to take advantage of that by going through somersault barriers without actually somersaulting.
And in this case, we actually destroyed Sonic with it. So sorry, Sonic.
Yeah, sorry, Sonic.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the kart racing mechanics. It'll be over soon enough, but it is what it is. What can you tell me about this racing, Devo?
The racing mechanic in this game, not racing mechanic, the kart mechanic in this game, sorry, let me rewind here for a second. So Sonic Adventure 2 actually has a secret fourth play style kart. For some reason, they decided to add a kart simulator in the middle of the speedrun that we have to get really good at if we want to do our speedrun really well. And you'll notice here that Meltra is moving side to side a lot. This is called drifting. And you'll also notice that her turning is a lot better than the casual experience. Well, if you let go of A and then re-hold A and start moving your stick back and forth, you're able to activate this drift mode, which you don't lose speed on downhills, and you can maintain speed for a lot longer period of time in this drift state. The only thing that hurts is your hands.
Yeah, this is pretty hand-intensive.
And while she does this, she's going to be collecting rings so that she can get boost at very specific times in the run so that she can complete it as fast as possible. This stage is probably one of the longest in the run, which is a little unfortunate because it's not very fun compared to the rest of the run. But it is interesting how runners have optimized this seemingly innocent kart stage. That was a really nice dodge.
That was a nice turn.
Yeah, whenever you hit a car, you lose a ton of speed, so you don't want to hit any of the cars. You're better to hit walls than you are to hit cars, because you won't lose as much speed. So you'll see Melcher try to hit a wall there. Yeah, we might hit
we hit another
too.
one. Yeah,
but that's okay, because we got the boost, so
the stage is also harder than its Hero Story variant, Route 101, because there are random holes on the track for some reason. Yeah, and I guess the construction crew forgot to put some barriers so people don't drive off the track.
Yeah, so in practice, I actually died at the end here somehow, but I'm glad it didn't happen now. We don't jinx anything.
Yeah, this is also one of the most volatile reset points of the run. If you happen to die in the stage, there are no checkpoints. You just lose 2 minutes. So it's a very, very rough point.
Tell me about it. That's
and now we're going to enter
but
another one of my personal favorite stages, Skyrail, and it's very, very short.
Yeah, tell us about it, Seahawks, in a short amount of time.
You got 40 seconds.
Copy that. I'm in pursuit.
Oh, okay. I'm back. For some reason, internet crashed out. On me.
I was just asking you to tell us about the stage.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a lot more than what we saw in Radical Highway with the rail mechanic, as a lot of the stages involves like grinding on rails, and in order to preserve as much speed when grinding on the rails, you have to like balance Shadow to keep him as close to the middle using the control stick by tapping slightly left or right.
And there I just like skipped most of the level by sort of jumping from rail to rail in the way that maybe the developers didn't really want me to do, but we do it anyway because we're speedrunners.
And the stage is also pretty scary because there is an endless death pit. And if we die, well, we lose a ton of time because we don't collect any checkpoints in this stage.
We die in the game, we die for real.
As we saw Meltra, she got 45 in-game time, and that applies as this stage is short. And we got Egg Golem.
Yeah,
this boss. Oh, okay, you go.
No, you're good. So Egg Golem is just a boss fight for Eggman where he's going to shoot these weak spots on Egg Golem, and you want to just try and shoot them and then jump off the stage because you can save time by jumping in the sand. Melcher just tried to do it a little early there because she wants to go fast, so she went back up, and that is all right.
Yeah, but now I got 5 lives going into Mad Space. Tell me what I can expect in Mad Space here, guys.
It's a pretty dangerous RNG stage throughout the run because we don't particularly take like half the pieces. Oh, okay, we got a piece that we can take on first load.
Yes, and you'll notice that the hints are backwards as well. So the speedrunners have to memorize all of these hints and memorize them backwards.
Yeah, Mad Space is pretty notorious for that, for the casual player base. Because we got Green in the Bowl, and now we got Flying Container, which means we have to go all the way up to the top. And what Meltra did earlier is that she did upgrade skip, so we skipped the pick nails, specifically.
Iron boots.
Or the iron boots. Yeah. Which
Not
is the upgrade.
Not a good Flying Container either. This can be in one of two places, but getting the less desirable one, let's see if I can get some good RNG out of this.
Yeah, let's get between the legs. Nope. Oh, that's fine.
Yellow platform. That's fine.
Yeah, that's even not even better, but somewhere. Where's this piece again?
Right.
You're in the right direction. Yeah.
This is the one.
There you go.
All right, less than a minute. Like to see it.
There you go.
No resets necessary.
Doesn't the casual, like, don't you just hate Meltra for flying through Mad Space that quickly? I remember the first time I played Mad Space as a kid, it took me like 40 minutes to beat Mad Space.
Same.
Yeah, I could never. We do have Knuckles here. We're going to kill Knuckles, guys.
We're gonna,
so excited.
We're going to dab Knuckles to death here. You ready? It's awesome. This is my favorite looking fight in the game because it's just so funny. I don't even have to explain it. We're just going to see it happen. It's so funny. And here we go. We're just going to dab him to death.
There we
And he's
go.
done.
He's dead.
And thankfully that happened because like once we reached the 18-second mark in this boss, if I recall, the platform opens up and there's a ton of gravity that'll mess up the entire fight.
Exactly.
Luckily, we don't have that, but we do have Cosmic Wall here. We got a pretty sizable skip going on, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, so you'll notice that this stage is unique because when Eggman hovers, he gets all this extra height here. We're gonna abuse this special mechanic in this stage to skip the level. How about you tell me about the skip, Seahawks?
Well, the skip is called Swiss cheese. I think if I remember correctly, the name came from someone ordering a pizza, if I recall. I could be completely wrong about this because this was way before my time. But we're just gonna
I'll tell you a bit about it, but go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna hover to like the left of this tower, and there's a specific spot we could clip through that'll allow Eggman to like go through this tower. And now we're in the tower, and all we have to do from here on out is avoid death planes, which are actually pretty easy to memorize because we do have visual cues that come in from time to time that pop up.
So strap in your seatbelt, everybody. We're going to be here for about 3 more minutes, flying into space. And I'll tell you a bit about this skip from what I know about. So, I'll give you a little bit of lore of Cosmic Wall as well, right? Cosmic Wall, we're skipping the level. CWS, skip, right? CWS, that's one of the skips that we used to do, not this one. Now we're skipping Cosmic Wall skip, CWSS, right? Cool. That's the skip we're doing now. CWSS, that kind of sounds like Swiss. Now, if somebody was hungry, it's like, oh, Swiss cheese. That's what the skip is.
Oh, I'm learning. I just learned so much.
Yep.
What can you do? What can you do while flying through space? But you know what we can do? We can talk about Final Chase and what's going to happen, in the next maybe couple minutes here.
Yeah, so we're in one of the 2 major level skips in Dark Story. Dark Story does not have very many of these full level skips. It's mainly full of small 2 to 3 second time saves throughout the duration of the run. This stage and Final Chase have full level skips. So once Melcher gets to Final Chase, from the starting rail, she will try to jump off using skewed gravity, avoid very hard to avoid kill planes, and maintain her skewed gravity to land on the goal ring from the start. And she can only do this from jumping from 2 specific frames on the rail. So it's a extremely difficult trick to do, but I know that Melcher can do it. And it's pretty nice to have this time in Cosmic Wall to talk about it because there's just so much to the trick. And explaining it while it's happening is very tricky. So, and I'd like to give Melcher some time to focus when she does it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time. Always a trick that I'm, always nervous about when it comes up, but it always works out every single time. So just gotta relax. And we're also gonna beat up Tails. I mean, Seahawks, tell us a bit about this Tails fight here.
Well, this upcoming anime battle is pretty notorious casually for being pretty tough, especially in an enclosed space. And Tails also has the ability to shoot a giant laser from his mech. But thankfully, we have a way around that. So we're gonna hit Tails, specifically fire bullets at Tails at a specific time in order to pull off a certain AI manipulation. Nice. We got 1 hit, we got 2 hit, and now Melcher's gonna... Okay, well, I thought she was gonna blow up the capsule, but I guess not.
Die. What's wrong with you, Tails?
Yeah, Tails is very aggressive in this fight and will just run around avoiding your shots.
Yep.
Melcher did a really good job backing up, not getting the canister blow up there. But here's
Tails is
Final
so
Chase.
happy.
And we're going to give Melcher some time to focus here.
I will meditate.
Here we go.
Someone just cueing a drum beat. All right.
I knew that was too low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way too low.
So this is a skip known as a fling skip. It is a very, very difficult skip, especially at the end of the run. What we do is that we jump off of the rail, frame perfect, and at a specific IGT timer on the frame. And what we do is that we bypass kill planes, and we abuse the skew mechanic, or the skewed gravity mechanic to
I don't know if I needed
bypass those kill
PGR
planes.
there.
You did need the PGR.
I did, darn it.
So there's two different frames here. Melcher's going to jump from one of the two frames. She's going to get past the first set of kill planes, which she just got past. Now she needs a PGR, which she didn't get again.
I'm too excited because I have to go very slowly, but sometimes I'm just get too excited. Can you blame me?
Yes.
Being excited.
Sometimes in your speed run, you need to go slow, you know?
Yeah.
We'll give it a couple more tries and then I'll just do the level regularly.
Okay.
But even if
good.
you fail to skip like a bunch of times, it's still, saves a good amount of time.
It saves a good amount of time over just playing this skip.
Too low,
Regularly.
way too low.
Yeah, so
Alright,
you can
last one.
fail this trick like 5 times before you would lose time to playing skipless. That's how much time the skip saves. It's like well over a minute.
Oh, it's gonna work. Okay. Well, guess we'll just do skipless.
Okay, and
That's how we're feeling.
and the skipless final chase is a very difficult stage in both the speedrunning world and the casual world because the gravity tubes simply, they barely function. All right.
Yeah, this is definitely a treat as well because speedrunning final chase without the skip is very cool, and using these tubes to go fast is pretty awesome. So you're going to see Melcher here get a bunch of height and then jump and skip a big portion of the stage here. And then she's going to use this tube, get herself to the end.
And funny enough, I've been grinding the 2-player version of this, so those use different strats in the single-player level, so I'm kind of
This stage has a bit of history to it because I believe sometime around 2018 there was a very difficult skip, harder than fling skip as Melcher tried to perform, called FC skip, also known as final chase skip.
full skip? Yeah, something like that.
No. And so
Jesus.
because the skip was very difficult, only a select few people ever did it in a run and got a world record with it. It wasn't until a runner named JW found fling skip and saved the dark story and made top level dark story runs become way more accessible for other people.
So you'll see here that the tubes did not work for Melcher there. Sometimes they'll just kind of eject you off in a dumb way, which is why most people prefer to just skip the whole stage, because at the end of the speedrun, the final level in the speedrun, to have to deal with a mechanic that is very finicky is not ideal. So a lot of people, even beginner runners, tend to try to learn the hard fling skip so that they do not have to deal with learning how to speedrun these tubes. We're almost at a point where a lot of runners just don't know how to play this stage skipless at all, which is really funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have mini skip, which is a kind of skip that we use to save, some would say, a couple seconds.
Around 4 seconds, yeah.
Yeah, 4 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not warmed up with that at all, but I'm just gonna go up this wall. Good old wall here.
Good
now,
old wall.
there is one thing that I will mention about this stage. It's actually better in the PC version, where the gravity tubes in the GameCube version, if we were playing that one, it actually behaves a lot worse for some reason. So, good news is that we're playing this version, don't have to worry.
If I recall, the GameCube version,
GameCube version,
they just pull you in a lot stronger.
Yeah.
They also
At
will
the
just
very
eject you
minimum,
off
yeah.
for no reason. The PC ones, for the most part, will keep you on the tube as much as possible.
All right,
I kinda
are we
wanna
gonna
like
go
this version.
Oh, we're going
No,
for
we're
this
not gonna
skip.
go.
Oh, okay. We're not going for that skip. That's fine.
Not for final skip. Final skip is where you could sort of end the level right here and now by doing a bit of a sort of a skewed gravity sort of thing, but said we're going to take this rocket. You're not, oh, I want to take that tube. No, I don't. I'm just going to fall to the end of the level, and that is the level.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Here we go.
And we have one more encounter with Sonic that we have to do after this.
Another anime
With our
battle.
boyfriends,
But
right?
thankfully, it's the last anime battle.
Maybe I didn't try hard enough.
This is the divorce battle.
No,
Yep.
I
our
might be saying.
boyfriends. No.
No.
You ever just be running in space with your homies? Because right now we're just going to do a bunch of homing attacks. And that's going to be kind of what's going to happen. Except he's going to go to the end, I guess.
So he's gonna
friends till the
control
end.
himself forward. And then Melcher's gonna try and do 3 timed homing attacks here. Just like that. And then she's gonna try and keep that rhythm up so that she can continue attacking Sonic. And if she does it the right way, she could chain those homing attacks over and over again. We got 1.
No, what?
We got 2. And that's
Here we go.
time.
Time.
Then it's time.
GG's.
GG's to Meltra.
Let's go, Melcher.
Very good.
She's so good.
Good stuff, all things considered. Besides maybe Final Chase. Did pretty well. Good stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any final words.
Yeah, just Anarchy, thank you for having me on. Glad to be here. As always, just making it work for GDQ Hotfix.
Of course, before you go, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky. You guys got to follow me on Blue Sky. Got a lot of zingers on that platform. Also find me on Twitch, which I might start streaming to soon. Meltra NS. So that's one thing. If you want to find me, do some more sort of Dark Story speedruns, other speedruns in between. That's where you can do it. So that's kind of what to expect. Again, thank you, Devo and Seahawks again, just for, super short notice, jumping in for comms, wouldn't have been able to do this without you guys.
Oh, of course. Thank you for letting us commentate your hotfix run.
There you go.
Melcher's so cool.
Meltra's so cool. I wholeheartedly
Super
agree.
awesome.
Thank you all so much for that amazing run. We are going to take a quick wellness break now, so make sure you all hydrate, use the restroom, stretch, get a sweet treat, do all that great fun stuff, and we will be back with more Hidden Heroes soon. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hidden Heroes, the Sonic and Shadow boyfriends episode. They may be boyfriends, they may not. Apparently they're enemies. I think I just saw Shadow kill Sonic the Hedgehog, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's whatever, I guess. But before we get into the next run, we're going to do a couple of announcements. As you might have saw, Meltra, the last runner, did a run at Back to Black. Just so you all know, Black in a Flash is returning with an event for Juneteenth from June 20th to the 22nd. To learn more about how to join the Black in a Flash community and to submit your runs, visit gdq.gg/BAF. And also, along with that, if you missed any of our hotfix shows or our events like Back to Black or Frost Fatales, you can check out the VODs on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. There is a lot of great stuff on the YouTube channel. I can't lie, I'm a chronic GDQ VOD watcher, so make sure you go check those out. But without further ado, very, very excited for this run. I'm happy to welcome Hex Speedruns, who's going to be showing us Sonic Adventure DX with all stories. So good luck and have fun.
Hello, Arnaki. Thank you for having me. I'm Hex. I'm so excited. I love this game.
Yeah, of course. You're free to take it away. Go ahead.
Oh, awesome.
do what
Okay,
you do
so
best.
just ready to go whenever? Or do you want me to say a little bit before I get into it?
You can do whatever floats your boat.
All right. So before we go in, it's going to be... This run is really fast-paced, so I'm just going to get some things out of the way. This run's going to be all stories, so meaning we're going to do each one of these characters. And just a fair warning, this game is very broken. Walls are very optional. And if you've never seen a speedrun of this game, get ready, is all I have to say. Yeah, I'm ready whenever.
Yeah, go ahead and do a countdown.
All right.
You can see some all stories.
We will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good
All
luck.
right, time will start once time can start now. It really doesn't matter, but I start my timer once the game fades. And this game does have an auto splitter, which is nice because it's on PC. But I'm just going to be manually splitting. So this is the first boss fight, Chaos Zero. It's kind of a joke. You can actually speed it up by standing in certain spots. Nothing in this game is pretty much going to be as intended, as you'll see. And, we're starting off with our good pal Sonic. This is his first adventure in 3D, and you're going to see that being, very obvious once you see the speedrun of this game. But we're going to start off in Emerald Coast. And this is the first level. So I play this game in an overhand grip because the fastest way to move in this game is by chaining spin dashes together like this. Unlike other Sonic games, there's no cooldown. You can spin dash whenever you want. And you just missed that jump right there, but it's okay. And you're going to be seeing a lot of this, me doing spin dash jumps to skip sections of the level. And it's pretty much the goal of this game. The way to be good at this game is to minimize how many times you slow down. I mean, as is for most Sonic games. But really, like, the difference between top level and, normal gameplay is they don't slow down for anything. And, as good, I like to think that I'm decent at this game. But, the top level runners of this game pretty much make this look like a playtest demo. And, as going fast, as you can see, we're pretty much at the end of the level. Each level in this game pretty much has like acts. You know how classic Sonic has like Act 1, Act 2? They're not specifically labeled Act 1, Act 2, but you'll definitely notice that the level will be split up into sections. So yeah, that's first level in the run, Emerald Coast.
Hooray.
If you thought that was broken, you ain't seen nothing yet, is all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm like scared.
Honestly, it gets worse without Sonic. Like, Sonic is pretty tame compared to most characters, but once we get to like Gamma, we're not even gonna do the level in the right order. And coming up, so Egg Hornet's gonna be the first boss fight of the run minus Chaos Zero, and there's an impossible one cycle coming up. This is a really hard trick. It's right at the beginning, and pray that we get it. This guy, despite the fact that the one cycle is, so difficult, he pretty much will just do a half-baked attempt at throwing missiles at you. And then he'll slam into the ground. An impossible one cycle coming up. Wow, we got it. No way. Oh my God.
You're just the goat. You're just the goat.
No, yeah, they didn't put any cooldown on Eggman, so you can literally just spam homing attack. So there's probably something I should explain is there's not a lot, but there's like 3 different routes that you can take Sonic's story. One is the linear route. The other is the TAS route, which, is the route that TAS uses, and glitch route. TAS route is faster by a couple frames, but for me, I'm going to be doing linear route. Also, first example of walls being a suggestion coming up.
Oh, that's
literally
awesome.
just go right through it. And that's the entire Act 1 of Windy Valley. I'm gonna go for something here called trampoline skip. There are these, game's lagging a little. There are these like numbered platforms right here. If I homing attack at the right time, I could make the trampoline. Unfortunately, I did not get it, but it's only a couple seconds. And then there's gonna be an even bigger skip coming up. Right here. We're gonna get some skewed gravity off of the platform, and we're gonna actually just be able to fly right to the end of the level. Yeah, so using this kind of skewed gravity, we're just going to be able to dodge all the kill planes and pretty much just reach the end of the level. Even though it may look like I'm kind of just falling with no purpose, the game has a lot of like invisible kill planes in the out of bounds sections that you have to dodge. So it's not as simple as it may look, but that's Windy Valley. And, if you thought things couldn't get any more broken, spoiler alert, they will. Because coming up is Casinopolis. Some people say Casinopolis. I like saying Casinopolis.
Sounds good to me, too.
Yeah. And so basically, the way that level is intended to be beaten is you're supposed to grab, I think it's 400 or 500 rings to elevate a platform and make it to the Chaos Emerald. We're not going to do that. That takes about 5 minutes. And we're going to be able to beat the level in about 5 seconds because there's a skip.
Oh. Okay.
And yeah, it's one of like pretty much the shortest level in the run. And what we're going to do is we're going to, again, use the fact that walls in this game are just merely a suggestion. And all right, so here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here, clip through this wall. We're going to use these coins from Out of Bounds, and that's the entire level. That's Casino
That was
skip.
so cool. That's so cool.
That's one of the coolest skips in the run. It definitely, you know, not only is it just really cool to watch, you know, a really sick skip, it saves you from having to do that 5-minute level. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're going to be moving on to Ice Cap now. Ice Cap, as you may, there's a little bit of a trend that you probably picked up on. It's broken as well. Pretty much every level in this game is broken.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But yeah, so basically the 10 levels that you see in Sonic's story, there's one level that you don't see in Sonic's section that pretty much those 11 levels are shared among all of the stories. So we'll be doing different parts of each level for different characters' stories. So pretty much if you see a level, we'll be back. I also think one funny thing about this game is for part of the 100% completion, you're meant to do like levels with a time limit. And the funny thing is they give you like an absurd amount of time. Like for this level, they give you 4.5 minutes. We're going to be doing it in 18 seconds compared to the in-game time. And again, walls don't exist. We can literally just walk right through that wall. And what we're going to do, it may look like we're falling with no direction in sight, but this should take us to the end of the level if we set it up correctly. And so we're literally just going to free fall for a little bit. But, you know, I can use this time to kind of explain. This was my first speedrun that I ever did. And this game means a lot to me. I'm very passionate about this game, if it wasn't already obvious. Because it's like my pride and joy as a speedrun. And I really think that this game, you know, compared to 8 years ago, was broken, but it's gotten even more broken somehow. And a lot of the work has been done in other characters' stories. Sonic, again, you know, rather tame compared to others like Gamma. But you end up seeing this be a lot of people's first Sonic game, which I think lets there be a little bit of like a nostalgia factor with its speedruns. And unfortunately, everybody remembers the iconic "Oh no" line, but you'll notice Knuckles doesn't say anything. And that's because voice lines in this game, they don't lose time, but they can cause a crash for one of the bosses. So I just had them removed so that crash won't happen. But unfortunately, it comes at the expense of the "Oh no." So you know what? You give a little to take. You give a little, you take a little. And this is Chaos 4. So contrary to popular belief, his attacks are not RNG. They're done off, determined based off like a variety of factors. Pretty much positioning and then how close you are will determine it. There are 4 different attacks. One is he will just do like a little twirl and he'll fire a laser. And the other one is he splashes. If you get too close to him, he'll punch you, and he'll do one that loses 10 seconds, which he splits up into 4 different balls, which I just got, unfortunately. But There is a little bit of like variety to this boss, but unfortunately we are gonna have to do it 2 other times. And because this game loves recycling bosses for some reason. So this is not the last you'll see of Chaos 4. And pretty much for every phase, he just does 1 attack, but for the last one, he does 3. So let's hope we don't get that ball attack again, because that would stink.
I just knocked on wood for you.
Thank you. I can do the same. Hang on. I think we should be good. Fight's gonna be over pretty much the second. Yeah, that was Chaos 4. Again, kind of unfortunate that we did get that ball attack, but you know what? It is what it is. And so another unfortunate thing about this game is there are a decent bit of auto-scrollers, such as this one right here, Sky Chase. It's your kind of typical Sonic plane sequence where the screen moves at a set speed and you can't make it go faster or slower. So we can kind of just vibe during this. If I come to this corner, I will not, I have no risk of dying. So we can just chill here.
I do love vibing out, I can't lie.
Me too.
Speaking of vibes, I do want to talk about Summer Games Uncooked 2025, which will be live in Minneapolis from July 6th through the 13th. And you can register right now to attend the event by May 26th. Use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonecooked.com for more information. It's going to be a blast of a time. I'm going to be there. It's going to be great.
I'm going to be there also. I'm excited. Yeah, SGDQ is such a vibe. I would very much recommend anybody who has ever been like, yo, I should go to that. If you're thinking of like, oh, but this, no, just go. It's amazing. I'm telling you. It's a life-changing experience.
I'm so inclined to agree, actually. Getting to make friends, getting to meet friends, people that I've known for a while, getting to meet them in person, being able to hang out the whole week and being able to hang out in the streaming room, go get food with people, go just do whatever, and seeing a lot of the amazing runs that people come up with on the big stage is great. So if you're on the fence about it, if you're thinking about it, you should just do it.
I 100% agree. It's actually the only reason I'm pretty much here right now is because of GDQ. I remember playing this game at my cousin's house. And it was the first time I ever touched this game. And like, as soon as I started playing it, like, I don't know what happened, but there was just something in my brain that was like, bro, I need to speedrun this game. Like, I felt like it was like, it would be a vital point of my life if I started speedrunning this game. And guess what? It was. So, you know, big shout outs to GDQ. And big shout outs to those, that run, because without it, I wouldn't be here. And yeah. Moral of the story, GDQ is very dope.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly.
And look at that. That vibe session took us to the end of the auto-scroller. So unfortunately, we will be back. We will be back in Sky Chase. But we have more gameplay until then. And we're going to be coming up on Twinkle Park. Twinkle Park, one of the harder levels throughout the run, but there are 2 pretty big skips coming up. I'm actually going to make a little bit of a detour. I'm going to grab this crystal ring up here. This makes it so that anytime I charge the light speed dash, which we got earlier, it's going to take half the amount of time. And that'll become apparent in a boss fight later on. It's kind of up in the air whether it saves or loses time, but, you know, it's really not a negligible amount, but it's more preference. So this car section coming up, Twinkle Park, we're going to start off in a car. And there's something I can do called track skip, which I'm hoping to hit because it looks really cool. If I get a good amount of rings, because the amount of rings you have actually determines your speed, I can actually come up on this ledge and do that and skip a portion of the track. I'm really glad I got it. It doesn't save too much time, but it looks really cool.
I can confirm it did look cool.
It was dope. It is kind of scary, especially when you saw me kind of go up on that ledge, but it's so close to the beginning, it's like you might as well go for it. Now we just pretty much go-kart race. And we're going to come up to a section where we drop down into a roller coaster. And the roller coaster is going to take us on a little 15-second adventure. But you can skip it. If I jump into the hole and then right before I get in the roller coaster, I do a homing attack, you'll see me skip the trigger. Yeah, I got it. So now I'm in the out of bounds part, and I can use the geometry of these castle sides to pretty much skip the entire second act. And that's Swingle Park. It actually went really well. Yeah, spin dash jumps on slopes are really nice because it gives you a lot of height. And that's pretty much what makes this game so good to speedrun is jumps like those, you can skip a lot. So that key card just spawned, but that key card, not a fan of it. I don't like that key card for various reasons. So we're actually just gonna skip it. Now we're at Speed Highway. My favorite level, there's not too much to explain here. There's a big skip at the start. This saves about a minute. But other than that, it's pretty much just like a movement masterpiece. So I'm just gonna kind of let the gameplay speak for itself on this one. But I don't know, this has always been my favorite level. And then, we come to this building part. There's something really cool that we can do that I'm gonna hopefully show off. See if I can get it. Oh, if you position Sonic in a way, he can just disappear and it looks like nothing is running. But I didn't get it. It's okay though. It doesn't save any time. But you know,
we love a swag strat though.
Yeah,
we love a swag strat.
Trust me, we'll have more swag. Oh my god, we'll have more swag strats throughout the run. That's a Speed Highway. I did mess up a little bit at the end, but you know what? It was still rather clean. And we're gonna continue we're gonna continue the gauntlet of levels with Red Mountain. And now the time limit for Red Mountain that they give you in a game is 4 minutes. So keep that in mind when you see me do the level, because these levels are actually quite long. But because of how broken the game is, we end up doing most of them in about like 1 to 2 minutes. And I just think that's really funny. Time limits are no big deal for us.
We're speedrunners. Who cares about a time limit?
Nope, not me. So funny thing is, we can actually, you see how there's like a monkey guarding the gate right there? It's actually possible to make it behind that gate without defeating the monkey. But the loading zone that spawns Red Mountain is actually triggered by defeating that monkey. So you would just end up soft locking yourself. Do you know who found that out? 14-year-old me, the hard way, because I did it in a run. But I always like that little piece of lore. Oh, I just fell through the mountain. I'm not really sure what happened there. But you know what?
Wouldn't be a hotfix one without random shenanigans.
Agreed. So coming up, Red Mountain. This level, I mean, it's a really cool level, but it's very long and it has a lot of parts. We're actually going to skip pretty much all of it. I'm going to do a little spin dash jump on this rock right here. We're going to go around the side and we're actually just going to make it to the second half of the level. We actually are meant to go around the opposite way, but those spin dash jumps, man, they can be pretty OP if I do say so myself. So yeah, we can utilize the level geometry. Pretty much make it to the end of the level, and that's Red Mountain.
Yay.
So yeah, the level, again, you have 4.5 minutes to beat the level. I just did it in 1 minute and 9 seconds. This game is busted. But unfortunately, we're back to auto-scroller purgatory. So, more vibing, I guess.
I love vibing. I can't
Me too.
lie. Speaking of vibes and enjoying things, I already talked about the Hotfix enjoyer role in the main GDQ Discord. But if you are interested in other Hotfix stuff, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, and there you can check out this season's lineup. Check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. There's a lot of Sonic going on this week. We all us showrunners really happen to be thinking about Sonic and Shadow and all their friends. So I believe it is Wednesday. We're going to be having some classic Sonic. Then we're also going to be having, I believe it is Shadow Gen on
Yeah, that's
Friday?
cool.
Question mark. At some point, there's more Sonic. Take my word for it. There's more Sonic.
Listen, Sonic speedrunning goes crazy. What can I say?
I wholeheartedly agree. I know you run a lot of Sonic games, not just SADX. So
Yeah, I run, okay, so I haven't been too vocal about it, but I might as well say something. I'm currently working right now. My big goal is to learn all of the 3D Sonics, like their respective 100% categories. And right now I know this game, I know Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic Colors. And honestly, if I had to be real, this is my favorite one out of all of them. This game is just, it's so perfect. I mean, I'm a little biased again because it was my first speed game, but it is perfect.
that is really cool, though. Learning all the categories like that.
I'm excited for it. Each one of them has their own thing that makes them unique. What's your favorite Sonic game if you had to pick one, Anarchy?
I have to admit, I did not grow up playing that much Sonic, but I did have Sonic Colors, and I played Sonic Colors a lot as a kid. So it would have to be Sonic Colors.
The GOAT. Sonic Colors is genuinely one of my favorite video games.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm like the #1 glazer for that game, I swear.
Sonic Colors is a good game, I can't lie.
Yeah, if I had to pick a one that's not the adventure games for speedrunning, Colors is my close second. Like that game, I mean, I'm in love with that game. I don't know, it's also weird. I think one thing, not weird per se, but Sonic kind of gets, there's like a divide because there's, you know, like these style games, like the adventure era games, and there's also like the boost games. But I think they both have like things about them that make them good and bad.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. There's kind of a big divide between like adventure Sonic versus like modern Sonic, but like he's just the guy. It's Sonic. I don't know, man.
All right, coming up is I'm just gonna admit that this is probably the hardest level in the run. Skydeck. It is hard. There's 3 sections and all of them pose their own kind of unique challenges. This is like one of the really long levels in the game. There's 2 levels, this and Lost World, that casually I think took me and others like about 8 minutes to complete, which is a very long time. And I don't know, this level, it's really hard, but it's also one of my favorites because when you do it well, it looks so cool. So hopefully I can show that off for you guys. Well, that's not a great start.
No, I trust.
Okay. Comeback is greater than the setback. You know what? If I end up having to play this a little safe, it's okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of a shortcut here. You're meant to go counterclockwise around, take these like paths to the side, but we're just gonna skip it all. We can use that like gray hanging object to do a spin dash hover over to the edge, and we can pretty much skip all of that. Right here, we want to be fast so that we can avoid the wind. You're going to see there's going to be a gust of wind. It's really hard to stay on the ground once that wind activates. And we're going to see if we can get a 1 cycle here. Looks like we got it. Nice. Now, here's the hard part, if this wasn't already hard enough. The way you're meant to do this is you're supposed to trigger a gravity switch. I want to see if I can hit this capsule without it. I did not get it, unfortunately, but that's okay because we can just come up here and grab the switch to fix our gravity. And that's Skydeck. That's pretty good, minus the death at the start, but that is, again, one of the coolest looking levels of the run. Really, really dope, especially if you're only used to casual gameplay. But the excitement is not over just yet because Lost World is just as crazy, and that's coming up in a couple minutes. But right now we have to beat up Gamma a little bit. So that pretty easy fight.
Oh, it's over already. Okay.
Yep. So what we have to do right now is we have to switch the ship. The ship has 2 modes, the egg carrier. In order for us to continue, we have to swap it back. And of course, they made this cutscene unskippable, so we have to watch the egg carrier change shape. And now we have Chaos 6. Chaos 6 is the one boss that I was talking about earlier, where grabbing the crystal ring helps out a lot. And what it basically does is, if you hit Chaos 6 with the light dash, it allows you to do the phase in 2 cycles instead of 4. And so the crystal ring allows you to charge in twice the time, so it's going to save us time in this fight. So pretty much all the time loss that we had while going to get the power-up is back. We save it all back here. Unfortunately, I did mess up. If you charge your light dash too close to him, those particles that form around you actually just will hit him. So unfortunately, that did happen, but it was still relatively fast because I had the power up. So now we're going to be going to Lost World. Lost World, again, is if Skydeck wasn't the hardest level, it would be Lost World. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do here. We're going to be doing something called Snake Skip. The way you're meant to do this next section coming up is you're meant to go up, kind of like do a vertical ascension kind of platforming journey, where you hit 3 switches that raise the water level, which allow the snake to come up higher and vice versa. But we're actually going to skip that entirely. We're going to use the geometry right here, Snake's Mouth, to pretty much just get to the top. We can use a well-timed spin dash hover, make it all the way over, and we're going to actually just phase right through that door that we need the switches to unlock, which is, I think, really funny.
That was really cool, yeah.
So what we're meant to do is we're meant to light up this mirror room, but because we're speedrunners, and I just died, because we're speedrunners, we pretty much know where to go. I'm also at 0 lives. I better be careful. But yeah, we can pretty much we know where to go, so just do some spin dash jumps. Yeah, I was thinking about playing this a little safe because I have 0 lives, but what's the fun in that?
No, I trust. I believe in you.
Oh, that wasn't scary at all. Definitely not. But yeah, that's Lost World. That was pretty scary. That was
definitely a clincher.
Rather scary. But guess what? We made it through in one piece.
Hooray!
And so we're going to be going to the final level, conveniently named Final Egg. And they left the most broken level for last because there are a lot of skips coming up, is all I'll say. I'm going to do something really silly at the start. Oh no, I died. So I actually did that on purpose if it wasn't obvious, just so I could get 4 lives. So I don't want to game over and then have to start an entire level. But yeah, final egg. It's pretty much a lot of what you've seen already. A lot of skips here. This is one of my favorite levels. Just the movement is really cool. So we're actually going to go backwards here instead of going forwards. And they didn't put an invisible wall behind you because they didn't think you'd be able to get there. But we did anyways. And so we just skipped like 2 minutes worth of the level. No biggie. And then doing this, I can restart myself into the elevator. Can do a little jump out. I guess not. But we're going to use this elevator. Hop over this invisible wall. And here's the end of the level. Right there. And that's final egg.
You weren't kidding. You were not kidding. You sort of broken.
Nope. It is broken. All right, now all we have left is Egg Viper, which is the final boss of the run. It's about a 2.5 minute fight, and basically the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna walk in circles, and the reason why I do that is because, you know, Eggman does this, you get a load of this if you've played the game with voice line. But if I walk in circles, he'll only do 2, whereas if I did other movement, he could maybe do more than 2. So me walking in circles, you know, looks bad, it looks really cool because, you know, I'm narrowly missing it. But, you know, it also saves time. And so for when he does this, I play this a little safe. I do a spin dash jump, and it pretty much makes it so that I don't have to homing attack each of those like chains. And that's pretty much how the boss fight's going to work for the first couple phases. But eventually he's going to start destroying platforms and stuff's going to change a little bit. I see the people in chat are familiar with the voice lines.
See, if we're not going to have them turned on, we can just have chat.
Yeah.
Do their great rendition.
Yeah, so now he's going to start breaking platforms. He's also going to throw these Beyblades at me. And I can use those Beyblades to hit him. It's very important that you remember that he's going to break these outer platforms because I have stood on those outer platforms and I have died. And it is not fun.
It happens to the best of us.
It does. But yeah, we have 1 hit left. And then that'll be it for Sonic's story. The longest story in the run. Sonic's story actually makes up about 1/3 of the entire run. And if we just stand in the right spot, we'll basically be able to avoid this final attack. Yeah, and that's Sonic's story. So funny enough, that, you know, wasn't the cleanest run ever, but that actually beats my PB for Sonic Story.
Oh, let's go.
Which is really funny. And so credits. So I'm just going to exit the game and reboot it back up because that allows me to skip the credits. And the credits are like pretty much each 3-4 minutes long. So saves a lot of time throughout the course of the run. And now we're done with Sonic. We're going to move on to Tails. This is not the right file.
I love Tails.
I forgot that I had to choose the right file. But yeah, no, Tails. So I love Tails too. And actually Tails' story was the first story that I ever ran. So this one hits close to home for me personally.
He's just a little guy.
He's awesome. That's my guy. That's my Sonic goat. But the first thing we're gonna do before we get any, before we do any emblems, get any rewards, beat any Chaos Emeralds, stuff like that, we're gonna grab an upgrade. And this upgrade allows us to fly faster and fly for longer. And so it's actually gonna be very useful later throughout the run because it allows us to do really big skips. The way Tails' gameplay works is he's essentially racing Sonic, which basically means you're just going to the end as fast as you can because Sonic will never pose a threat ever. Now, I did say before, I joked about the impossible one cycle. This one's actually impossible. Like, this one's actually like really hard. So if I miss it, just know that it's not well, it is a skill issue, but it's a justified skill issue. Oh, I gotta, listen, we're gonna get a 2 cycle at least. You know what? That's a win in my book. A win is a win. I don't care what any of y'all say. A win is a win. Yeah, that's the 2 cycle. Honestly, can't be upset with that. Can't be upset with the 2 cycle. So, a lot of Tails levels, like I said, it was broken with Sonic, but, at least Sonic had to stay on the ground. Tails, you don't have to. So we're literally going to fly right to the end of the level.
That's my goat.
I'm so ready. This guy, Tails, he's great. And so we're going to start from the first platform, and we're going to end up at the last platform. There it is. That's it. That's Windy Valley.
Sonic never stood a chance.
Nope.
That fraud.
Sonic's on fraud watch right now. So, and going back to Casinopolis, they would surely never have a big skip in 2 levels in a row, right? Like, it had one as Sonic, but, surely they wouldn't have one as Tails, right? Surely. Surely there's no way to just, walk through the wall or anything.
Surely
that would be way too easy.
What a level.
What a level. Now, unfortunately, Ice Cap's not going to be the same. And I was trying to lead you guys into a false sense of security last time if it wasn't obvious. But this one, it's a snowboarding level. Now, there still are cool things we can do. Like, as you noticed, I didn't grab the ice key. That's because we can skip it. And we will skip it. Sonic, we had to grab it. It is possible to skip it as Sonic, but it's really hard. And so right here, I'm going to set myself up, and then we're going to run on the wall for a little bit. And then if we hold left at the right point, we can just skip it. We can just skip having to unlock the ice key. Does take me a little bit. It's a tough skip.
No, I trust.
I will get it. Trust. Let me cook. Ah, there we go. I do think it would have been faster to take the ice key, but you know what? Who cares? Who cares about faster?
We're doing it for the love of the game.
Exactly. For the culture. But yeah, so we're going to be pretty much just racing Sonic on a snowboard. There are 2 super jumps we can do. The first one's really hard. The second one's not as bad. If I get them both, I'm going to lose my mind because they are really cool. But you're going to notice on these ramps, every time I go on these ramps that are coming up, there's gonna be a cutscene that plays. However, if you go on it with limited speed, you'll have like a different animation, which excludes the cutscene. So I press A there, gonna be a cutscene. But if I do this next one correctly, there will be no cutscene. Oh, I missed it, unfortunately. That one's really hard. You need to delay your jump a lot. And if you do it correctly, you'll literally just fly over that entire section. But the second one should be easier, hopefully. Surely. All right, here we go. Yeah, I didn't get it, unfortunately. But it's okay. Yeah, ideally we wouldn't hit that rock. But
All good though.
it doesn't, again, it's not like we die if we miss them. It's just, you know, it would have been sick, but it's okay. Now, unfortunately, because we skipped the ice key, the door isn't locked, or the door isn't unlocked, but we can just do that. Just phase right through the freaking ceiling. And unfortunately, we do have to fight Chaos 4 again. But it's pretty much impossible to get that ball attack that loses us 10 seconds. So there's a plus.
Hooray!
Yippee! But for some reason, Chaos 4 takes one hit less. Like, instead of having to hit him 5 times, you only have to hit him 4 times. Which I'm not really sure why.
You want it to be nice to Tails.
I guess so.
You want it to be nice to him.
I guess maybe Tails, now that I think about it, and you kind of brought that up, maybe Tails was meant to be like the easy mode in this game. Because like in Sonic Heroes, they have like Team Rose, Team Sonic, Team Dark, and it's kind of meant to be like an easy, medium, hard. I wonder if this game did the same thing with Tails' story. I actually never really thought about it like that. Just with the whole, you know, like being able to fly thing, it makes it easier for like if people haven't played many video games. Unfortunately, we will have Sky Chase after this, which is why not a lot of people like running Tails' story, because Tails' story probably has the like smallest ratio of gameplay to cutscene, or like gameplay to auto scroller, because it's like an 18-minute run and like 8 minutes of it are auto scrollers. So not great. And so we're just going to be going to Sky Chase. And then we can just vibe.
Hooray! I love vibing. Let's see. Things I can vibe about. Chad, I want you all to know that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, your bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel, they all help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. And I don't know about y'all, but I am definitely a hotfix enjoyer.
Me too.
Not because I am I'm legally supposed to be, but even before I was a hotfix host, I enjoyed hotfix. So if you enjoy watching speedrun content here on the channel, consider subscribing. And you can get access to our emotes. There are a lot of really great emotes, especially the spin emotes that are like a certain blue blur. They're kind of great, I'm not gonna lie with you. Also, there's ad-free viewing, and you can chat with other subscribers during our replays. So consider your subs and all that cool stuff. Other than that, yeah, I'm hanging out. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, same here. I'm having fun. This run, again, it's hard. It's difficult. It's not difficult, but like, because of how fast paced it is, it can be, sometimes you can like overlook stuff while playing. But I think I've been doing a pretty good job so far explaining.
You're doing in my opinion, you're doing a great job. I don't know a whole lot about SADX, but I probably couldn't give great commentary. That's why you've got the occasional hooray. But I'm hanging
it's
out,
all
I'm having a
good.
good time.
Listen, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. I also just think it's so crazy that they just added like a safe pocket for these auto-scroller levels that you can just literally stay and have no risk of death.
They forgore.
They did, they
it
forgore.
happens.
Coming up after Sky Chase is going to be Sand Hill, which is another snowboarding section. And then guess what we have after that? Sky Chase Act 2. So it's pretty much going to be like 6 more minutes of vibing. But you know what? Vibing is cool. And then after this, we're going to have Knuckles' story, which is personally my favorite. So there will be a lot more to explain there. But Tails is kind of just Sonic 2.0. So, same goal. Pretty much same levels. They made it perfectly so speedrunners can rest their hands. Yeah, I'm very thankful.
Yeah, I know all the games that I run are all keyboard and mouse, so
Oh, really?
I couldn't imagine doing all of this for like 2 hours on a controller.
Funny thing
the
is,
only game I ever ran on a controller was I got Melee for Speedrunner, where you get like a random game and you have to learn how to speedrun it in like 2 months. I got Melee. I didn't do a whole lot of runs because it was Adventure Run. It was really easy.
Yeah.
But that hurt my hands like a mug. I don't know that I could do that willingly.
Smash and hands are not a great combo.
No, they sure are not.
But no, that's actually, it's funny you mention that because I started running this game on keyboard. For like a year or two, I ran this game exclusively on a keyboard. I hadn't touched a controller with this game casually. The only time I did was really at my cousin's house when I first played the game. And like, honestly, I don't know how I did it. Looking back, this game is not designed for a keyboard.
Yeah, I bet.
It is not keyboard friendly, but it is possible. So, you know, if you ever did want to speedrun this game, you could do it on keyboard. So now we're going to get the Warrior Feather. It's actually important to note that people have theorized skipping these upgrades, but with the way the game works is a lot of the flags for future levels are set either through upgrades or loading zones. So even though it may be like theoretically possible to skip the upgrade, you would either just soft lock yourself or get to a point where you can't advance. Which is interesting because I feel like modern games don't have that same protection. So I'm kind of wondering how they made it so bulletproof back then.
Right, interesting.
It does kind of suck because you can't do like super game breaking stuff, but at the same time, like the levels are cool enough anyways. Like Sky Chase, for example. Look at this riveting gameplay. But yeah, I think this game, it'll always have a special place in my heart. And like, it's just a blast to play. And I hope that people watching this run are at least a little wowed by the speed.
Chat, while we're here, I want you to share your favorite share your favorite Sonic levels, whether that's because you speedrun them or just you like them casually. I want to hear from you, chat, while we're vibing here. What are your favorite Sonic levels?
I can start off. I mean, I love Speed Highway. In Sonic Adventure 2, I like Pyramid Cave. Sonic Heroes, I like Seaside Hill. And then for Sonic Colors, Planet Wisp Act 1. That level is goated. That level is so good.
Banger.
That level's... It's just crazy because, like, casually it's good. Speedrunning, it's even better. I'm trying to think of, like, any other levels if I have anything, like, off the top of my head. I did pretty much one level per game, but I feel like most of the levels are good rather than bad.
Ooh, Chow Garden.
Chow
Good choice, good
Garden.
choice. And also the Big the Cat stuff. I completely agree.
Honestly,
Man, I love fishing.
I'm gonna drop a hot take. I was never really a Chow Garden fan growing up, or now.
Interesting.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know. I hope that doesn't make me a heartless person.
I just like that they're little guys. I like them.
They are fun, but I think the issue for me was being gate kept out of like 100% completion, because like Chow Garden's required in a lot of games for 100%, and I'm just like, dude, come on. Those are really good levels, Rocker. Ocean Palace is fun. Rail Canyon, okay, interesting. Studiopolis is good. Yeah, there are a lot of good levels being said in chat.
Yeah, chat, you have great taste.
Oh, I probably should have mentioned that boss fight, the one that we just did, is a joke. It's actually like so easy. You just mash. They did not put any thought into the character battles for this game, or like these mini bosses. Also, unskippable cutscene again.
Ooh, we love an unskippable
We
cutscene.
love it. Switching to free. Oh, I can't believe I went this long without mentioning it. There are 2 camera settings in this game: free cam and auto cam. One would kind of assume that you always want to be in free cam, but it is very situational. So there's some times where you want to be in free cam. There's some times where you want to be in auto cam. It kind of just depends. And at times it can be preference, which is really cool, because it allows for different gameplay styles, different ways people do things. I think it's pretty dope. And we're gonna fight Gamma again now, and then Speed Highway. I'm actually gonna go for a little bit of a swag strat. It's another way of doing the level that involves like a really hard gravity glitch, and it saves like 4 seconds, so it's like not worth. If I miss it, I'll give it multiple tries. Why not? I really want to show it off. All right, here we go.
I'm always down for swag.
I think I got it. All right, we have to make it to the end though. So what I did there basically is I used that ramp and I used the jump to get skewed gravity. And this skewed gravity, the way it basically is working right now is instead of when Tails falls, he goes down, obviously, like that's how gravity works. But because the down direction right now is like kind of going up, we just gain height. And we can just use that to get to the end of the level.
You're just a goat.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really surprised I got that. I was not.
You're just the goat.
I didn't know if I was going to. But the last bit of this run, Egg Walker, there is a little bit here where we can glitch it. So, funny thing, they left in this game, if you press Y, you can put Eggman in debug mode, which is crazy that they just left that in. Y is usually not used for anything, but I have to press Y while he's going up or else I'll soft lock him. So I have to be very careful to not press Y too early. Nice. So that's Tails' story. Now we're going to be moving on to Knuckles' story right after these credits. Gonna do a quick reload. And we'll be back to Knuckles' story. Knuckles' story is my favorite, but it also involves a lot of RNG. So that's something to look out for. And I'll explain it in a sec. Once we're in the level, it'll make more sense once you see it. But we're booting back in. Now we're starting Knuckles' story.
Hooray.
So the gimmick for Knuckles' story is you're finding 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. And those 3 pieces have various different locations that they can be. So it really just depends on what the game gives you. There are thankfully like routes we can do that check off like the major locations. But those routes they don't ensure that every piece gets found, so I have to be very proactive with looking for pieces. It does not look like we got good RNG here, which is okay. Expecting the game to give you good RNG will just lead to disappointment.
Well, yes.
And yeah, so we didn't want to have to come into this section, but 2 of the pieces were here, so we just got cooked from the start. But you know what? It's okay. Even then, that was still pretty good. Debug Eggman does. I can just explain it. What it basically does is it like restores him back to his like default animation, which is him standing up. So what you do is you press that button, which is Y, and it restores him to his default animation. But he goes back to like his default animation before he jumps, so he'll just jump after that. And that skips like the process of him getting up, so it adds up over the fight. Ooh, I'm glad I got this piece because it actually can show off shoe clip. That's shoe clip.
Right.
Wow, that RNG was crazy. Oh my god. Okay, that was crazy. That was crazy. Oh, mouse pointers on screen? Okay, thank you. Whoopsies.
We do a little bit of trolling, so.
Oh, that's a good segue to mention that this is the PC version of the game. And it's the PC disc version released in, I think it's like 2004. It's actually not the Steam version because the Steam version has longer load times. It also is way buggier. So this is like pretty much the best version you can play because it's not as buggy and it has really fast loads.
I did not know there was a disc version for PC.
Yeah, that's kind of the benefit of this game being so old. We can just stun lock this boss. Such a silly boss.
I just looked over and he's just dead, okay.
Yeah, it's so cool. So you'll just be explaining how a boss works. It's, oh yeah, he's dead, by the way. And Red Mountain's the next level. Red Mountain is one of the harder levels, I'd say, because it's just very wide. And there's a lot of possible locations it can be. But thankfully, there's like a pretty safe route that we're going to take. But before we do that, I'm going to try and see if I can get really lucky and see if all 3 pieces will be at the bottom level. Because if all 3 pieces are like at the bottom or on the way to the bottom, I won't have to do the normal route. I'll just be done. Also, I love how they put a monkey destruction switch in the game.
Monkey destruction. That's so awesome.
Oh, okay, so we actually got really good RNG. So we got 1 piece up here. 1 piece down here in the enemy. And our last piece is right here. So that was very fast. Yeah, that was really good. So the gamble paid off. And that's Red Mountain for you. Now we're going to go and fight Sonic, and then guess what we have after? Everyone's favorite boss, Chaos 4. For the third time. But we're back to 5 hits. 5 hits for Knuckles. And again, it is possible to get the ball attack that we all so very love. But we have the reverse oh no. And then now we have Sonic. We have Chaos 4.
No, I think that's Sonic. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, he's blue.
He is blue, you're right.
It works. Listen, if they can confuse Shadow for Sonic, they can confuse this guy for Sonic. Oh, great. This is so great. Well, we got the ball attack that loses 10 seconds. Twice this run.
Can't believe
And
this
who knows?
is my life.
We may even get it again.
Smiling through it all right now.
Yeah, there's a really funny name that we call this trick. It's not exactly GDQ appropriate, but if you take the balls and the color of the balls, you can put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
Yeah. But I just call it the ball attack for legal reasons. What I have noticed, though, and it's crazy because I still got the attack anyways, but if you hang out around the edge of the arena, you're less likely, or at least in my experience, you're less likely to get the attack. The only hard part is you can't see which attacks he does do, so... Let's play some Ring Around the Rosie.
Shapes and colors right now.
Shapes and colors. Right. Now we're going to make our way into the jungle with Knuckles, and we are going to have to place 2 stone statues. Place 2 stone statues to unlock our next level, Lost World. Now, Lost World is the definition of one of these levels are not like the other, and you'll see why. Because unlike every other level, we will not be collecting 3 emerald shards. We will not be doing the level pretty much as intended, and we will see it get broken wide open. So keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited. I can give a little bit of an explanation while I do it, but right now we're just going to work on getting these statues. Thankfully, the statues, unlike the emerald pieces, are in the same spot every time, so no need to worry about that there. Right. So Lost World is an interesting level because, like we saw before, there are three possible pieces. Now, one of these pieces, which is the flash I got at the start, can be in an invisible enemy, and those are really annoying to deal with. But thankfully, the rest of the emerald locations are pretty tame, so it'll be very easy to go and collect them, but we're not because we just got a capsule. And that triggers the end of the level. So what we just did there is we actually ended up in Sonic's portion of the level, and we hit the capsule that's meant for Sonic. But since you're Knuckles, the game auto assumes that because you press the capsule, it's like, oh, you found all 3 emerald pieces, the level is going to end. But in actuality, we didn't find any of the emerald pieces. So the game just breaks and we win. Also intentional death. Yeah, I think that one's pretty cool. That's kind of like the only big skip in this story. I am going to do something, a little swag here. I'm going to do a wall run to grab an upgrade that we usually don't get. But the wall run is really cool, so I want to show it off.
We love a good swag strat.
So yeah, You know, I know Sonic is meant to be fast, but I mean, look at this guy right here.
He's locked in.
He is. And so we're going to grab the, I actually don't even know what this upgrade is called because I never grab it. But basically, it's the same thing that the Crystal Ring does. It's going to allow us to charge up an attack, and we can actually beat the next boss, Chaos 6, in only 2 phases. But it's not really about the destination. It's about the journey with the wall run.
Exactly. Could not have said it better myself.
And then the last level coming up is Skydeck. So all the other levels can be really punishing with RNG, but this is the level that can be probably the most punishing with RNG. Because there's 2 really cursed spots we can get. One that's called like the X piece, which it ends up like at the top of the ship and it's really out of the way, and cart, which basically means I have to change the ship's gravity. And unfortunately, we didn't get any pieces at the start, so this is not a good sign. All right, that's piece 2, and then piece 3 is going to be somewhere down here. Oh, we just glide right through the wall. Remember when I said walls are optional? Yeah, that doesn't just count for Sonic. Walls are optional for this guy as well.
We love a broken and busted video game. I can't lie.
Yeah. So now all we have left is Chaos 6, and because we picked up the upgrade before, it's actually going to be a lot easier of a boss fight. Not that this boss fight was hard before, but... Unfortunately, it's a little bit of like an anticlimactic final boss. Not as anticlimactic as big. We'll see that, trust. We'll see that later, but for the time being, watch this. So we want to get 2 enemies off the bat. And then we can use our charge power-up to attack him big boy style. Of course, this game is so perfect that Knuckles couldn't pick the guy up. And that's Knuckles' story.
Before we move on to the next story, I am gonna call for a break here.
Sounds good.
Just so we can do a little pausey poo.
I'm just gonna let the credits run if that's fine while we do our break.
Of course. So we are gonna take a quick little wellness break right now. So make sure you all hydrate, get some water, use the restroom. I know I will certainly be going to the bathroom. Make sure you stretch, get a sweet treat, and do all that fun stuff. And we are going to be back very quickly with some more SATX. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hidden Heroes. We are right in the middle of this Sonic Adventure DX run with Hex. I'm not gonna yap because Hex, you're doing all the yapping for me. So
yeah, I guess so.
Go on.
All right. So we're gonna get back into this. Last we left off, we finished Knuckles' story. We are starting Amy's story now. So Amy, I don't know. Amy's a weird kind of. I don't want to say hybrid of gameplay styles because there's not really any 2 stories that she's a hybrid of, but she kind of does her own thing. Her goal is kind of like Sonic, just like get to the end of the level, but like lore-wise, she's being chased by this robot Zero, and the goal is to outrun Zero till we get to a balloon later on, which basically means, hey, you did the level. So we are back here, and we're just getting some cutscenes before we go to our first level, Twinkle Park. And pretty much in everyone, except for the last level, in every one of Amy's, massive amount of levels, all 3 of them, there's going to be a big skip. And we're going to do one right here. So we're going to enter this castle. And what we're meant to do is we're meant to traverse through this castle, go through the mirror maze, the classic theme park attractions. We're just going to do a corner clip and skip pretty much all of it. So we're gonna go in. If we do it the right way, we can land in this later part of the level. So that's really exciting. Big skip right there. It is possible to do a skip that makes it so you don't even have to go inside here, but it's very, very hard. So I'm not going to be doing it, but that skip is cool also. And we're pretty much at the end of the level. It's going to be
I was going to say, it looked very cool.
Yeah.
It did look very cool.
And the next level, Hot Shelter, is going to be even more impressive. Hot Shelter is really cool. But unfortunately, we have to play a little bit of whack-a-mole before then. And this whack-a-mole, basically, we need to get 2,000 points. And that's not really that hard, right? That's not really that hard at all. But it's RNG. So you can just get trolled out of winning. And that has happened to me many times. Just getting trolled out of winning. Yeah, as you just saw there, Supersonics are worth 500. Sonics are worth 100 or 200, I think. Nope, 100. And I am getting nothing right now. Uh-oh.
I'm so locked in right now. I'm locked in.
No, I failed.
Oh.
I kind of just got rolled. I wish I had something better to say. I kind of just got rolled.
We do a little bit of trolling.
You know, I'd like to say that's never happened before, but it very much has happened before.
No, we can say it for the bit. That's never happened before.
It's never
I've never seen
before.
that happen to you.
No way, dude. How does that happen?
Whoa.
No way. And you know, we win.
Hooray!
You know, it should have been like that from the start, but can't always have it the way you want, I guess.
We need to
it's okay. It was so good, we did it twice.
Exactly.
All right, Hot Shelter. Hot Shelter's broken. We can literally start it off by doing a clip out of this elevator. I didn't get it, but it's okay because we can also do a clip through this door. I didn't get it.
Okay.
But it's okay because we'll do a clip later on that I ideally will get. But case in point, this is a very long level. I'm pretty sure they give you like 6 minutes to do it for the time trial. We're going to do it in hopefully under 3. And the fastest way to move as Amy, if you hadn't already been able to tell, is jumping. But, you know, I know we just did a little bit of a wellness break, but I think I need another one. I'm going to do a quick bathroom break. Do a quick little bathroom break here. You know, speedrunning can get stressful sometimes. You can just do a little bit of a bathroom break right there. Or we break out of the bathroom. That's why it's called bathroom break. We use the stall door to push us out of bounds. And so, you know, I feel pretty relaxed after that. How about you, Anarchy? I feel pretty relaxed after that.
I feel great now. I feel great.
I'm ready to go.
Have my bathroom break. I'm good.
So while that looked like a blind jump, the goal there was to hit the spring, and we're gonna try something here. I don't usually go for the skip, but we're gonna do something called Puzzle Skip 1, because this is the first puzzle, and we can skip it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line myself up, and I'm gonna... Oh, I almost got it. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna go into this wall to line myself up. I'm gonna use my input display, which I have open, to make sure that I'm walking straight up. My hands are a little shaky, I'm not gonna lie, so it might be a little hard.
No, I trust.
You know what? I'm just gonna put the pieces down. I tried it. I gave it a couple attempts. My hands are a little shaky right now, so I'm finding it hard to hold up. I do be a little nervous, but it's okay. Because, you know,
you're doing a great job right now.
If Puzzle Skip is so good, why didn't they make a Puzzle Skip 2? Well, guess what? They did. So you will see Puzzle Skip. Also, very, very perceptive chatter in chat pointed out, this is actually the only level that Sonic doesn't play. It's played by all 3 of the characters, Big, Amy, and Gamma. But it is not played by Sonic.
That guy has enough going on.
Yeah, I think you're right. But that was Hot Shelter. I did lose a little bit of time going for that one skip, but other than that, it was pretty clean. Also, I completely glossed over Puzzle Skip 2. That's Puzzle Skip 2. You just jump through the wall. You use the momentum after hitting the spring. You fall down, and using that jump, you convert your downward speed into sideways speed. And if you jump at the right angle, you can just clip right through the door. And skipping to the second puzzle. The first puzzle's not that bad. The second puzzle's way more annoying. So that second skip is nice. And so this last level, Final Egg, if you are good at probability, I'm a math guy, if you guys didn't already know. I graduated with a math bachelor's. So I like to call this level, do you understand geometric distributions and statistics? Or if you're normal, Final Egg. And the reason I sure don't. The reason I call it that is because at the end of the level, there are 5 possible doors. And all the possibilities for each doors are equally likely. And once you check a door, you can cross it off. So you can discard that door, meaning there's no replacement. And that actually fits the criteria for a specific type of distribution in statistics called a geometric distribution. And so I call it that because, I don't know. I'm just a nerd. That's why. But if people in chat want to play a game, you too, Anarchy, you can get in on this too. Pick a number 1 through 5. We're going to start on the left and we're going to move clockwise. So we'll be opening all the doors until we get it. Guess a number 1 through 5 and try and predict which is the correct door. It's completely random and they all have a 20% chance of being it. So
I'm going with 4.
4? Sounds good. And if anybody in chat gets it, you get a virtual high five by me.
Chat, get your numbers in.
Was like a 2 kind of night. You know what?
I've seen a lot of 2s.
Me too. And no pun intended there. But you know what? I'm a believer. I think it's going to be 1. I think this PB actually gets 5 as well. So that's
interesting.
We'll see. All right. Door number 1. Door number 1. Door number 1. Door number 1. No, okay, it was not door number 1. Door number 2, right? Surely. Okay, it was not door number 2. 3, right? It's gotta be 3.
Right.
It's gotta be 3. Surely it'll be 4, right?
Any
it wouldn't
4s?
Be door 5.
Any 4s? Any 4s?
Oh, door 4. Let's go. Wow. I'm so lucky.
Whoever else picked 4, you're just the greatest.
4, here you go. There's your air high five. Enjoy. And then now we are going to be pretty much done Amy's story. Headed to the final boss, 0. We're going to finally confront that robot head on. But first, we have to do some pretty tricky jungle movements. The way the roof of the jungle works, you saw I can walk on the roof of the jungle. I've done it with pretty much every character. But With Amy, it's harder because she moves so slow. If you stand on it for too long, you can just fall right through. Yeah, just like that. It's okay though. I know the path back, but unfortunately we have to watch Amy go up the really slow ladder.
Oh yeah, you weren't kidding.
Yeah. Happens. Yeah. Any day now, Amy. Any day
We'll get
now.
up there one day. One day.
And that's it. That's Amy climbing the ladder. Hardest part of the run.
Let's go.
Yippee! What a freaking exciting part of gameplay. So I just switched to autocam right there because I do big story in autocam and then I do Gamma's story. I start off in autocam. Yeah, Messiah. Math lesson for the people in chat. If you wanted to find the expected number of tries it would take on any given run, you would multiply those percentages by the number of attempts. So you'd multiply 1 by 20%, 2 by 25%, 3 by 33, and then so forth and so on. If you add those up, you get the expected number of trials it'll take, which is actually some number between 2 and like 4.5. So we just say 3. All right. And that's Amy's story, by the way. So I'm going to close out. Unfortunately, we do not get to listen to her banger credits theme, but it's okay because something even more exciting is about to happen. We're about to play as everybody's favorite character. And I will not spoil the surprise, but when you see me boot in, you'll know.
I'm so ready.
So we did Sonic, we did Tails, we did Knuckles, and we did Amy. It's time for big.
Yay!
Time for some fishing.
Man, I love fishing.
So big is definitely the most unique gameplay style. While other characters have speed, Knuckles is treasure hunting, Amy has survival, Big has fishing. Also, me switching to auto cam there was completely useless because every time you reset the game, it just puts you right back into free camera.
Okay, well, we do a little bit of trolling and stuff.
Yep. Weird, but you unironically like the fishing. I mean, honestly, I like the fishing. Also, yeah, Big just lifted up a car with his freaking bare hands. That's crazy. So the goal of Big's story is to catch Froggy.
Froggy.
Froggy. There you go. This is the entirety of Big's story is fishing. But the good news is it's only 4 levels of fishing. Or if you like Big, it's 4 entire levels of fishing.
He doesn't have bare hands. He has cat hands because he's a cat.
Yeah, listen, I see no flaws in that logic.
It's an excellent chat message.
Also, one thing that's crazy about Big is when he runs upstairs, he can actually run really fast. Look at this.
Whoa.
I mean, we're talking levels of speed rivaling Sonic. Like, look at that.
He's just that guy. It's power of fishing.
Big's the guy. Fishing goated. I agree. This is my favorite part of the run. All right. We're going into Ice Cap now, but first we're going to get an upgrade as Big, which is exciting. So, you know, other people get these like cool rings that let you charge spin dashes. Big gets a pool floaty. So now we can float on water.
Oh, that's so cute.
Joy. Come here, Froggy.
Froggy.
Listen, I know it's probably a bummer that I took out the voice lines, but I'll do my best big impression every time.
Chat, we're gonna do our best big impressions.
Yes.
I would like to see your best big
Feel free to
Froggy
participate,
impressions.
chat. Oh my god. There's no way that just happened.
It's the little things.
It is.
Right.
It truly is with this game. But we're gonna move on to Big's third level, Emerald Coast. This is actually the hardest level, because for some reason Froggy is blind. We also get to hear banging music coming up. This is like one of my favorite tracks in the game. Now, unfortunately though, if you've ever tried to 100% this game, you know Big's extra missions are completely horrible. So the only time I don't like that song is if I've been stuck in the level for multiple minutes at a time, which happens often.
Well, yes.
All right, here we go. Froggy, please be nice. Okay. Nice. Let's go.
Wow. Froggy.
Froggy. That Big is so darn cuddly. Dude, I'm going to be honest. Baymax and Big, it's a tough competition for who I'd want to cuddle more.
You're so right.
It's a tough competition. All right, Big's last level, Hot Shelter. We actually get a little bit of platforming beforehand. We get to see Big with speed shoes. Look at him go.
He's zooming. He's going.
Whee!
I love his pool floaties so much. That's so
too.
cute.
We actually can a little bit of an interaction. You get to drain the water. Hello, Mr. Froggy.
Yeah.
Bro just came at the line and then was like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good. He's chilling.
That's Hot Shelter. Yay!
Yay! Yippee!
Okay, this is crazy, but unironically, I think the story that's going the greatest this entire run is Big's story. Like, this has been really clean.
He's just the goat. He's just the guy.
I guess so. All right, we're heading to Big's final boss. So unfortunately, our time with Big is limited, but
No.
we get to see the greatest boss in the game. The greatest boss in the game where there are absolutely no flaws at all.
Right.
If he would get in the train. All right, for the final boss, Chaos 6, we're going to be doing even more fishing. Except this time, we're going to fish from inside of chaos?
What? Wait.
Oh, I missed. Yay!
Let's go.
Second try.
Hooray.
And that's it. Big story. Yay!
I'm going
Guys,
to miss him so much.
That was awesome. You know what? That's the boost we needed. We have one more story left before the final story, and it's Gamma Story. Gamma Story is really cool. Gamma Story is probably one of the most broken, if not the most broken one in the entire game. You'll see very soon how broken this story can be. But at the start, it's going to be rather tame. So Gamma is kind of a weird gameplay style. He's basically a robot, and he's a robot that shoots things. But as weird as that may sound, it's actually really cool. We're going to start off in this level right here, Final Egg. It's your basic kind of tutorial level. But after this, things will pick up, especially around like the halfway point of the story. Stuff is going to get crazy. All right, so that was Final Egg. And now Gamma's going to have to fight his brother.
What?
Can we get a weird champ for that, for Eggman? I don't know why Eggman would do that.
What?
Or at least a weird emote. Don't worry, this is not the first time we'll be fighting our brother. We'll see that later on. But basically, the lore for Gamma is he's a robot made by Eggman that's like meant to do various misdeeds. But he eventually grows consciousness and is like, damn, I kind of don't want to do this. And
I
so
don't want to do this.
that's Gamma Story. But Emerald Coast is second level, and there's like a really weird optimization I can do here called pillar jumps. It's really tough, but I'm gonna give it a try. Let's go. So that saves like all of 1 second.
Okay, 1 second is 1 second.
1 second is 1 second. But those are very hard jumps because your inputs get dropped a lot. And that's the end of the level.
Yay!
Yeah. So we do that now. In about a minute, things are gonna get really weird. So throughout most of the level, we've been doing things in a linear order. And, you know, even if in Sonic's story there's the option to do things out of order, we really haven't kind of taken that approach. Now, for two reasons. One, because most of the time it's slower. And two, it's because there's a big risk in soft locking the game because of the way flags work. But in Gamma's story, it's a lot different. We're going to be doing things way out of order. So we're actually going to be doing, in order of stages, we're going to be doing, we did the first stage, the second stage. We're actually going to do the fifth stage.
Right.
You know, because that's how numbers work. But it's going to make more sense once you see it happen because it's the final levels in the egg carrier, which is where we're at right now. But usually we're not able to get in there. And I say usually because we can do this. So now we're in Hot Shelter. And
Banger.
this is the fifth level. So we're going to be doing things out of order. And I'll explain why in a sec. But we're going to be doing a lot of cool things throughout this level. We're going to go for a trick called Wall Run. Wall Run is super cool. You run on a wall. And yeah, please hold your applause to the end. Thank you. Unfortunately, I did not get it there, but I'm going to keep doing it until I get it because it's that cool. I don't know how that worked. I got the wall run, but I did not get the jump. okay. There we go.
Yay.
So that's wall run. Now, unfortunately, it's not over. We do have to clip back in. And do that jump right there. And now, we're intended to go on that train, but we just skipped it. And now, guess what? We're going to jump to the final part of the level.
Hooray.
With the final boss. So yeah, we pretty much skipped all of that. Yeah, this game is busted. I don't know how that one didn't hit. And there we go. So, you know, we've just done the 5th level, 3rd. There's 2 more levels, but we can't just skip them because of the flags. So I bet you're probably asking, what are we going to do now? Well, funny thing is we just activated a glitch called trial mode glitch. And so what we can do now is we can quit and we can go to trial mode. So trial mode is basically, instead of, you know, the adventure like we're doing before, you get all of the levels there and you can just pick and choose. But since we did those levels early, the levels that we have not done yet are unlocked. Meaning we can do those levels in the trial mode. Now that doesn't mean that we skip them in the adventure mode, but it makes it so that we have to do less walking back and forth. And this saves like about 2 minutes in like a, 9-10 minute run. So doing Hot Shelter early is very important. And it also just allows us to do this trial mode glitch. So usually we'd have to do this level later, but we can just do it now. And then we can also do the next level, Windy Valley, here as well. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't mean we can immediately go to the final level, but we just have to walk around after and activate a couple flags, and then we'll be good. So this is the next level, Windy Valley. And notice how we just skipped that entire level. We're going to do the same thing with Windy Valley.
Hooray.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to jump here. And there's this spring over here. And I'm not sure if this is intended, but it launches you way up in the air. And now we can just fly to the end. Such riveting gameplay.
I love watching the level load in.
Me too.
Awesome.
These bosses are a joke. Literally just spam and win. But we've now completed the 2 remaining levels in the speedrun. So now all we're going to do is we're going to go back to adventure mode, because in the adventure mode, we're going to be in the same spot we left off. But the difference is we're going to already have those levels completed. So we're going to load back in. And then once we load back in, as you can see, we're back in the egg carrier. We're going to be able to continue as normal, but some things are going to be a little different. First, we're going to fight Sonic. And now, normally what we'd do here is we'd go grab the Windy Key and we'd go do Windy Valley. But if we die, that's the flag for completing Windy Valley activated, because remember, we already did that level. So dying activates that flag and the game just thinks that we just did the level. So now, we're meant to go do Red Mountain, which again, you'll know we've already done. And what this will do is now we can just enter the level and then exit out, and it counts us as completing the level.
I'm learning so much right now.
And so look at that. Now it's pretty much confused. We have the flag for beating the level, but we didn't do the level when it was intended, so the game's like, okay, whatever, you can just go. And so we take another death, and now we're going to go to the egg carrier, which is meant to be the final level, Hot Shelter. But if you remember, we already did Hot Shelter early. So, oh my God, there's no way I just did that.
We do a little bit of trolling.
We
Just
do.
a little bit. TT, a little bit.
So, if I can land on the raft this time. We get on this, and then we get the cutscene that's normally intended. But since we beat the level, we get another cutscene that's pretty much telling us that we can go fight the final boss. So, all the flags are activated. We can go fight the final boss.
Yay.
And unfortunately, there is a trick you can do called early shot, where if you get a frame perfect, mind you that this game runs at 63 frames, so it's 1 in 63 second trick, you can actually skip a phase of this fight. Now, I didn't get it, unfortunately, but can't blame the guy for trying. And this is E101 Mark II. This is the guy that we fought earlier. Remember when Eggman made us fight our brother? Our brother got a little upgrade, but thankfully, this fight is pretty customary. Normally, we'd skip this phase had we gotten an early shot, but we didn't. And so, yeah, this song is goated. But now we're gonna just do the fight as normal. And it's faster, actually, to take damage to these cannons just so that he doesn't shoot them far away. It would waste time. So we can just enjoy a little bit of radiation as a snack.
Yummers.
Yummers. And that's Gamma's story. Yep.
Hooray.
Yay. So that's Gamma's story done. Now all that's left is Supersonic's story. It's the final story, and there's pretty much only like 4 minutes left in the run. So we've completed all the stories. Now all we have left is the final boss. And this story, it's nothing crazy. It's literally just a little bit of hub movement and the final boss, Perfect Chaos. But we do get to play as our boy Sonic again.
Yay.
That's exciting. And so now we've unlocked the final story, where we play as a question mark. Actually, not really, but you know. A lot of lore going on. I'm not actually really sure. It's been so long since I've watched any of the cutscenes for this game.
Oh, I feel that 100%.
So Eggman and Knuckles got knocked out. There's a skip we can do here. If we charge a spin dash into the cutscene, we can pause and never activate the cutscene. And never mind, I didn't get it.
Okay.
But it's okay because it saves like 1 second. And we do everybody's favorite speedrun strategy, death warping. Now we've accessed we've activated all the flags that would trigger the fight. So all that's left to do is just beat the final boss. Basically, he got all the Chaos Emeralds. Perfect Chaos now, but we're Supersonic. And we can do anything. So this fight, followed by the banger music, it's actually pretty simplistic. But there is time saves in this fight that are really hard. So if I go into Perfect Chaos and I press back at a perfect time, instead of doing that little swirly animation, he'll fly straight up and hit him. So I want to try and get that at least once because it's really cool.
I trust.
And it is really cool always hearing this epic music in the final fight. The way Supersonic works is if you have rings, you're okay. But if you run out of rings, you die. Now, thankfully, there's rings everywhere, so I'm not too worried. And, chat, if you're enjoying this song, get your jam emotes in. Now, unfortunately, we are about to hear the biggest fumble in Sega history. This banger song that makes you feel really empowered Oh, no. So we may be doing the fight a little longer. We have another phase to do. I tried to go for that quick hit, but unfortunately, if you do it too early, you lose all your speed. And I lost all my speed, but it's okay because you know what? We can listen to the song longer.
Exactly. It's for the plot.
Yep. Ah, there we go. That's
Nice.
the funny strat right there where you get it. We call them quick hits. They're really not even that much quicker. It was definitely not worth losing a phase over, but you know, anything to show off. Now, this is the biggest fumble in Sega history because they removed this banging music and put significantly worse music, in my opinion.
Right.
So we have 2 more hits, and time is coming up as soon as I get the final hit on him. So I'll let you guys know when time's coming up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Lamp. I agree. All right, this is the final hit. As soon as I hit his skull, that's going to be time. And time.
GG's.
So that is Sonic Adventure DX All Stories. I'm not sure what the final time was on your guys' end. I got 1:45:58.
Yeah, 1:45:40-ish.
Oh,
So
nice.
a little bit late.
Yeah, that's a really good run. That's actually PB, but my PB is
Let's
pretty
go.
old. That, you know, that's pretty hype. My PB was pretty
PB is a
old,
PB.
but PB is PB. So that was a really good run. I really hope you all enjoyed. I love this game. If it wasn't already obvious, I'm very passionate about this game. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the run and enjoyed seeing all of this, pretty much all this game has to offer. This speedrun's really cool because it gives you a variety of different gameplay styles, not just your typical like Sonic speed. And it really takes a lot to master. But when you do it, showing it off is really, really cool. So I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you again for having me. This is awesome.
Of course, this was an amazing run to be a part of. It was great. Hex, where can the people find you?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/hexspeedruns. It's pretty much exactly what you see on screen. Like I said, I'm currently in the journey of learning every 3D Sonic speedrun for 100%. So if that interests you, drop my channel a follow. Also, be sure to follow Anarchy. Anarchy's the GOAT.
Oh, thank you.
I do pretty much Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Heroes, Colors. And, you know, if Sonic's not really your style, if you're just here for this one run, I also speedrun Mario as well. Mario was my main speedrun for a while. I like 3D Mario, 3D Sonic. I just look to have a nice time. I like speedruns, 100% runs too. And yeah. Again, I just hope everyone enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something about Sonic Adventure from this runner. And if you guys feel like you want to speedrun this game, I definitely recommend giving it a try. It is not as hard as it looks. It's very digestible and it's a very down-to-earth speed game. If you want looking for a place to start, the Sonic Speedrunning Discord is good. Sonic Adventure Discord. Or just on Twitch. A lot of people run this game. And yeah. That's
Thank you
pretty much
so
it.
much, Hex.
That's all I got.
Yep. Thank you so much. So, to end off our night here, before we go, I do want to shout out, if you like Sonic, some events that have a lot of Sonic in them are usually the Black GDQ events. I just want to shout out that Black in a Flash is returning with an event for Juneteenth from June 20th to the 22nd. To learn more about how to join the Black in a Flash community and submit your runs, visit gdqgg.baf. We usually always have a lot of Sonic, whether it's classic Sonic or Adventure Era Sonic or 3D Sonic or modern Sonic. There's always some for everybody. But without further ado, I think that is going to end off our night. I hope you enjoyed this Adventure Era Sonic evening where we got to see Sonic and Shadow. I'm not sure I'm too convinced that they're boyfriends anymore.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
me too. Don't worry. Oh, me too.
They're just homies, I guess. I don't know. But remember, my friends, you're all great and you're all heroes. If you'd like to, stick around for the replay where you can catch Perilous Pass and the replay of this episode of Hidden Heroes. But otherwise, good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for more live GDQ Hotfix. Good night, everybody.
Bye.